Welcome to Top 10 Beyond the Screen. I'm your host, Johnny Rogers, and in today's video, we'll be breaking down some of the most frightening clown movies in film history. But before we get into that, if you don't want to miss another daily video from us, make sure you tap that subscribe button to join our notification squad. Now, without any further delay, let's get right into today's list, the top 10 scary clown movies. In at number 10, Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
They've been knocking them dead all over the universe.
What are you gonna do? Knock my block off?
When two teenagers see a comet crash outside of their sleepy small town, they investigate and discover a pack of murderous aliens that look very similar to circus clowns. They try to warn the local authorities, but everyone just assumes their story is a prank. Meanwhile, the clowns start harvesting and eating as many people as they can. It's not until they kidnap Debbie that Mike decides it's up to him to stop the clowns' rampage on Earth. Due to this science fiction film being released in 1988, a lot of people will say that it's not a scary film, but put yourself in a time machine and look at what else was popping in the late 80s. And this film, right on par. It's actually really good. It has a clever screenplay, weirdly creepy murders, and overall is just a very good homage to scary clown movies. If there was ever a classic in the clown film genre, this is it. The Casablanca of clowns, if you will. In at number 9, Wrinkles the Clown.
It's like a boogeyman situation.
Oh my god!
We know that there's a human underneath, and yet you don't know their identity, and that creeps people out.
You better be afraid of Wrinkles.
Wrinkles the Clown is a 2019 American documentary comedy horror film. The film follows a man known as Wrinkles the Clown who lives in Naples, Florida. It all started in 2014 when a video uploaded to YouTube depicting a clown named Wrinkles emerging from beneath a young girl's bed started to go viral. The unidentified man behind the mask then starts being bombarded with requests from parents, but not for your typical clown birthday party. Instead, for a fee of a few $100s, he will show up to your house just to scare misbehaving kids and prank people. Although the film starts to depict the dark side of Wrinkles the Clown, and in Florida he begins to become this kind of boogeyman-esque urban legend. Additionally, more videos begin to appear online depicting Wrinkles either frightening people outside of their homes randomly or engaging in very disturbing behavior, such as waving to motorists from a darkened roadside. Perhaps the creepiest part of this documentary is that it's all true. In at number 8, Stitches. After a clown named Stitches shows up late to Tommy's 10th birthday party, he does his best to entertain the children. Although the little brats are having none of it, and Tommy plus his friend Vinny decide to prank Stitches by tying his shoelaces together when he's not paying attention. This then causes the clown to fall face first into a knife, and as he tries to catch the kid who did this, he slips on a puddle of his own blood and hits the knife again. The clown is killed in this party mishap, but he comes back from the dead to seek revenge on the people responsible.
Everybody happy?
Where do you think?
When Bloody Disgusting, an American horror genre website, reviewed this film, they said Stitches is an incredibly low-budget production. The film looks cheap and the acting is suspect, but it delivers on so many other levels. Its biggest accomplishment is that it's never boring, which is pretty good review. In at number 7, Clown.
It's suffocating.
1, 2. Jack, sweetie, let's get you to bed.
When a loving father hosts a birthday party for his young son Jack, the clown assigned to their party is unable to make it due to a scheduling error. Fortunately, he discovers an old clown costume in the basement of a house that he's selling and just decides to put it on. After the party, the dad falls asleep wearing the costume, and the next morning, he's unable to take it off. Kent then enlists the help of Herbert Carlson, the suit's previous owner. The man advises him to avoid wearing the costume at all costs, but after learning what happened, insists to meet Kent in person. While discussing with him, Kent learns that the costume is actually the hair and skin of an ancient demon from Northern Europe. Carlson then drugs Kent with tea, revealing that the only way to prevent the metamorphosis into this kind of evil clown is to sever the wearer's head. Kent then ends up being able to subdue Carlson, and while driving, he starts to finally transform. This movie actually brings a new concept that is not only unique as it is scary, but presents an all-new movie monster of demonic proportions. There are a lot of scary clown movies, but few tell a thrilling tale like this one does. In at number 6, 31.
Now you may think you see a grease-painted reformer sitting before you, but trust me,
Written and directed by the great Rob Zombie, 31 is a period piece set in 1976 about 5 carnival workers who are kidnapped by a gang of clowns called the Heads. They are then forced to play a survival game called 31, where the clowns then chase them through a maze of rooms for over 12 hours. The penalty for being captured involves torture and murder, while bets are then placed on their progress. Much of the negative reaction to the film centered around claims that the film was forced and unoriginal, with Variety even writing that the energetic exercise in forced badassery will be too silly and self-conscious to feel genuinely edgy despite all the blood spilt and familiar taboos violated. Although if you are a fan of Rob Zombie, you will absolutely love this scary clown movie. It's by far a masterpiece of a film, but if you're looking for a clown movie that checks off all the boxes of bloody, terrifying nightmare, then this is your movie. In at number 5, The House is October Built.
Something happened to your car?
From the people that brought you Paranormal Activity, The House is October Built tops their previous work by exploring the found footage style of experiences in America's scariest haunted house attractions. A group of friends decide to record and interview the actors that work in these haunted houses, which leads to a disturbing revelation about how they actually operate. When the few frights they embark on are no longer enough, the group seek a notoriously extreme haunt called Blue Skeleton. Much of the film's praise is centered upon its cast and characters, and Dread Central wrote that the film's characters are ridiculously natural, and the relationships and reactions are both fun and frightening. In at number 4, Scary or Die. This scary clown film from 2012 is an American anthology horror film. What this means is that the film is composed of 5 connected stories set within the city of Los Angeles. Although some of these are more disappointing than entertaining, the best interlocking story is called Clowned. This involves a wayward drug dealer named Emmett who is bitten by a flesh-eating clown while at a family member's birthday party. To much of his surprise, he begins to transform into a new horrifying state of being. Once the transformation is complete, he suddenly has a newly acquired taste for human flesh, just like the clown that bit him. In at number 3, Gacy. This film is especially terrifying to watch because the man the movie is based on is a real-life serial killer. The entire film chronicles the crimes of the Chicago killer known as John Wayne Gacy, but it's not a documentary, it's a horror film with Gacy being the monster played by actor Mark Holton. Gacy used to regularly perform at children's hospitals and charity events as the character Pogo the Clown and sometimes Patches the Clown, both personas that he devised, but would soon become his new moniker, Killer Clown. John Gacy was responsible for the assault and murder of at least 33 young men and boys. Much like in real life, the film shows how he lured his victims into his home and dupes them into handcuffs under the guise of showing them a magic trick. His conviction for 33 murders was the largest number charged to one individual in the United States. Gacy was then sentenced to death on March 13, 1980. In at number 2, Stephen King's It.
So I had to get cleaned up. Tell him. Tell him. Tell him I'll see him tonight. Get out! Let's check.
When talking about the top 10 scariest clown movies, we have to pay homage to the OG of psychological horror, Stephen King. Based on his 1986 novel of the same name, this story revolves around a predatory monster that can transform himself into his victim's worst fears. Most of the time, he takes on this darkly comedic clown known as Pennywise. The protagonists of the film are known as the Lucky Seven. They are outcasts as kids, and once discovering this monster, they vow to kill him no matter what it takes. While the initial response was divisive, it has become widely considered to be the scariest clown character of all time. It also led to the reprise of 2 more feature-length films exploring the frightening clown even further, although none of which would be able to match that first response to seeing Tim Curry take on the role. Truly terrifying. Last but certainly not least on our number 1 spot, Terrifier.
Really think someone slashed my tires?
He knows this is your car. He saw us getting into it earlier.
Hey, handsome!
Cut it out.
The clown in this American slasher film makes Pennywise look like child's play, and the title for the movie is aptly named. The film follows the actions of a homicidal clown named Art, who loves to not only terrorize his victims, but kill them on Halloween night. This actually marks the second appearance of this crazed killer clown. He first appeared in the 2013 anthology film All Hallows Eve. The film is an excellent representation of the typical cat and mouse chase that most slasher films utilize, but knowing that the killer is this crazy clown somehow makes it all the more terrifying to sit through, especially if you're afraid of clowns. I'm not afraid, you're afraid. And that has been the top 10 scary clown movies. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you to our editing team for all of your hard work. If you enjoyed this video, then please show us some love here by tapping that like and subscribe button. Plus, don't forget to leave us your comments down below. And for more videos like this one, all you gotta do is tap that playlist when it pops up. From Top 10 Beyond the Screen, my name is Johnny Rogers, saying until next time, stay classy.